Hey guys, just give me a minute. Um, I've got another channel on another site. Um, I just have to find it. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring this up for you. Uh, just in case YouTube wants to get a bee in their bonnet about something. Um, I'm also now on this site. Not all my stuff transferred, but a lot did. So please go over there um, and follow me there. And now we'll get on with the show. So today we're covering Rabbi Toby Singer. And we're covering the birth narratives. Rather, the problems with the birth narratives. So anyway, uh, okay, so um, Matthew tells us that Herod ordered his troops to kill all the baby boys because the wise men came to him in Jerusalem and said, "Hey, look, um, there's a person who's born king of the Jews, and we want to know where he is." And Herod says, "Well, I don't know where he is, but I'll find out for you." And I'm trying to tell this story in a lively way. But anyway, so Herod calls his wise men and they say, well, he's supposed to be born in Bethlehem. Okay. So Herod says, look, this is what you do. You go to Bethlehem, you find the kid, you come back here, and you tell me so I can go worship him too. And the wise men are like, by the way, the wise men are from Persia. They're like the astrologers of Persia. So anyway, moving on. Um, so the wise men go to Bethlehem, and they find Jesus and they worship him, and they're told in a dream, look, you gotta go to Egypt, because if you don't go to Egypt, Herod's gonna kill the kid. Um, and So Herod orders all baby boys to be killed in Bethlehem because of one kid. And Joseph's warned by an angel. The angel says, hey, yo, gotta go to Egypt. And this is to fulfill, which isn't really, but anyway, I'll get into that in a second. Fulfill out of Egypt have I called my son. Um, that is not true. Okay. Um, when God said in the Old Testament, or in the Tanakh rather, that out of Egypt have I called my son, he is talking about Israel. That is made abundantly clear in the surrounding chapters. But Christians don't want you to read the surrounding chapters. They want you to read what they want you to read, and that's it. They don't want you to think. Okay? So, anyway, so in Matthew, the in Matthew, they live in Bethlehem. Okay? But in Luke, they don't. In Luke, they have to travel from Nazareth to Bethlehem and then go to Egypt so that they miss the slaughter of the innocents, which is another throwback to Moses. Okay. Because Matthew says something about Matthew says something about Rachel weeping for her children. That is a reference to the boys in Egypt being killed because Pharaoh doesn't want them to be freed. Okay. So anyway, basically the Christians have appropriated the verses about Moses and Israel for Jesus of Nazareth, which it was never meant to be. So anyway, and of course Luke has, they're from Nazareth, they go to Bethlehem because there's a census, which everybody's got to go back to their ancestors' home, which makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. And why would Rome do that? Okay, they're not idiots. You know, so but in Luke, Joseph and Mary live in Nazareth. Luke's got to get them to Bethlehem somehow, and the census is how he does it. And of course, I'm talking about the writer of Matthew. I'm not talking about quote unquote Matthew because we don't know who wrote Matthew. It was not Matthew. So anyway, so then Mary and Joseph are in the stable because there's no room for them in the inn, yada, yada, yada. Okay. These stories from raise problems. Well, I mean, yeah. One of them has Mary and Joseph living in Bethlehem, and the other has them going to Bethlehem for a census, which I've already said makes no sense. Okay, so anyway, the first problem is there's no record of King Herod killing the baby boys. Can you hear me? Glad somebody's here so I can ask. So anyway, nowhere. Okay, that's a like I said, that's a throwback to Tanakh, where Pharaoh kills all the boys because he's afraid of a rebellion. So anyway, Matthew tries to paint Jesus in the light of the new Moses, you know, like that's why he's got out of Egypt have I called my son, instead of saying this is Israel, which it is. It's abundantly clear if you read Tanakh that out of Egypt have I called my son is talking about Israel. Okay. All right. This serves two theological points for Matthew. First, as I said, the new Moses. Matthew wants Jesus to be the new Moses. So, the slaughter of the innocents is a throwback to Moses. Like I said, Rachel weeping for her children is in regards to the Egypt thing. Okay. So, while fleeing the Egyptians, so too the first thing Jesus did as an adult was to get baptized in the waters of the Jordan River. God tested the nation for 40 years in the desert. Jesus was tempted in the wilderness 40 days. Moses delivered the law at Mount Sinai. Jesus delivered his Sermon on the Mount, where he expounded on the law of Moses to his followers. Those are the basic parallels between Moses and Jesus. You know, basic. Probably more parallels. The second reason Matthew wanted the slaughter of the innocents in the story was the visit of the Magi is unique to the book of Matthew. These men from a distant land in the east are presumably pagans, probably Zoroastrians. They were Persian, more than likely. And that is somewhere around Iran, Iraq today. Somewhere in that general area. So they were more than likely Zoroastrians because that was the religion of the Persians, was Zoroastrianism. So these magi, these wise men, were astrologers. And that's why Matthew had to get a star so that these astrologers would notice. Because, come on, astrologers are not going to notice something else. Okay? They're just not. And an interesting thing about this star is, they Matthew, the author Matthew says, well, hey, look, the star led them to Bethlehem over to where Jesus was. Okay, well, that brings up an interesting question. If the star led them to Bethlehem where Jesus was, why did they have to go to Jerusalem first? You see, even as a Christian, that puzzled me. And I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Why did they have to stop at Herod's palace in Jerusalem if they had the star to guide them? One answer could be that the Jews know exactly where the Messiah is to be born, the city of Bethlehem. But it is non-Jews who come to worship Jesus, not the Jews. So here we've got anti-Semitism at its finest. Matthew is notorious for this. So he wants to get across the idea the Jews know very well when Jesus is to be born and where Jesus is to be born. But they want nothing to do with him. But the Gentiles, they find out and they come galloping to worship him. No fucking clue. It boggles my mind. It really does. It boggles my mind when you look at this from not a religious perspective, okay? But you just look at it and you look at how ridiculous all of this is. How utterly ridiculous it is, right? And, you know, not only does Matthew say, well, look, the Persians are coming to worship Jesus and the Jews aren't, but he's also the one that wants us to believe that Pilate wants to let Jesus go before the crucifixion. Let me tell you something. I've read a bit about Pilate. Pilate was a cruel man. So cruel, in fact, that he was removed from his post by the Romans. You got to be some kind of cruel to be that kind of cruel. When the Romans say, no, we're not doing this, that is next level cruel. So Pilate would not have had any problem whatsoever ordering anybody's death. He just wouldn't have. And it's stupid to think otherwise. But Matthew, the author of Matthew, wants us to think otherwise. And there's other points of the story, but the point of Matthew is this: all throughout, you have this thing about the Jews, and it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. And before I started on the rabbi's books and listening to the rabbi, I thought the only problem with Christianity was the guilt, all the guilt they heap on you because you were born a sinner. You were born that way. You cannot help it. How the hell are you supposed to feel guilty for the way you were born? Now, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in sin, But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you expect me, and I had to get over this when I came out of Christianity. I had to get out of the guilt. Get out of the guilt mindset. Because that's what Christianity does. Christianity will pummel you down. It is not a religion that upholds people. It will beat you down. It will make you beat yourself down. And before I started listening to the rabbi, I thought that was the only thing about Christianity, well, not the only thing, but the worst thing. But after listening to the rabbi for, I don't know, about a year now, there's a lot more wrong with Christianity than just it teaches you to beat yourself down. A lot more wrong with it. But I get into that in other episodes of my channel. So yeah, at any rate, I think I'm gonna call that an episode. I'm kind of tired. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. So I'm going to call it a day here. The link on my screen for those who just came in is for my Odyssey channel. So go, if YouTube gets a bee up its ass for some reason with me, then you can find me there. Also, you can go over and follow me. It's the same thing as subscribing on YouTube. So you can go over there and follow me, and that would be another income stream for me. So yeah. Anyway, like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have an extra buck or two a month, you can become a member for as low as 99 cents. You get custom emojis and debunks early, either one day early or usually 2 days early. If you're not financially secure, don't even think about it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't even think about it if you're not financially secure. Also, about my debunk, I may have it up today for my members. If I don't have it up today, I will definitely have it up tomorrow. It'll be out Tuesday for everyone. And everyone have a great day. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.